talking about Sandy, not necessarily the Rockaways, but how did you fare during Sandy? I know that Manhattan and Lower Manhattan, they were hit as hard as areas in the Rockaways and Staten Island.
And besides that, Long Beach, Fire Island,
I know that
Island Park,
I know that Long Beach,
Oceanside.
Long Beach had a fundraiser not long ago, an ice hockey event. Okay, anything to raise money to try to help people who are still waiting to rebuild their homes. There's one picture that I saw in the paper just this weekend. People rebuilding their homes and putting up putting their home on a 15-foot foundation because they were in Long Beach. They would not be, their insurance company would not insure them because of the low-lying area and the floods. So you could only imagine. I mean, this is terrible. And again, talking about Long Beach as we did with Lily and Karl, Long Beach Hospital is closed. People have no place to go. I mean, they're forced literally to get on the loop and go out to either Mercy Hospital in Rockville Center or South Nassau in Oceanside, or travel all the way to LIJ or North Shore.
Well, the problem is with Oceanside, South Nassau, they're overwhelmed with other people from Long Beach who have nowhere to go either.
Well, I'm talking about Long Beach now.
Well, no, we're talking about Rockaways.
No, before, but then I did say that the problem with Long Beach is the fact they have to go, they have to go either to South Nassau in Oceanside or Mercy Hospital in Rockville Center, is what I said. I know they're not close, but, it's just too bad that a bunch of the business people can't get together and try to do something to either reopen the hospital or have some sort of emergency
facility.
Exactly. So anybody out there in Island Park, Long Beach, you'd like to call up and let us know. We're here to take your calls, and we're here to give you a voice on the air to try to get your message out as the people from Rockaway got their message out. Felix and I are here to serve you. Okay, we don't get any money. We're just on the air to try to give you a venue so that you be heard. And speaking of venue, we all know that next week is what, Felix?
Halloween?
No, that's this week, Felix.
This week.
I mean, you're already wearing your mask.
I'm always wearing it.
So am I. It's called Old Age, ladies and gentlemen. However, next week, Tuesday, big day, across the country. Get out there and vote, and we are a member of what party, Felix?
The Coffee Party.
Exactly. So all of you who share champagne with Hoda and Kathy Lee, just remember in the morning when you have your cup of coffee, when you're at work or at home and have your afternoon coffee, and in the evening, think of us, the coffee party. Your vote counts. I know I was talking to my daughter just today. She lives in Ohio, and she was telling me that as a young person, although not so young, she's 35, and I keep joking with her that she's pushing 40, people her age worry about the future. What's going to be? We all know what the Republicans have to say about the debt ceiling and the national debt, but let's face it, folks, that debt has been pushed down the road for as long as we can remember. Okay, there is no way that is going to be paid up. So yes, we are dumping it onto our children and our grandchildren, but let's face it, our parents dumped it onto us.
Well,
it's just the way you fund the government.
No, eventually it's going to bite you. I'm sorry, they just can't. Even the Democrats will agree on that. You cannot just let it keep growing, because what's happening is we've got countries like China who are going to be owing us, and it's happening now. economy. We owe so much money to China, and if they ever want to really put the screw on us, they're going to demand their money back.
But they can't afford to do that.
Why not?
I really don't have an answer.
They can't afford it to do it, and they're already looking to change the currency and take it away, because the except the currency across the world is based on the dollar, and they're trying to change it now. And our dollar is becoming worth less and less. The higher your debt is, the less your dollar is worth. And mind you, I'm a Democrat mostly. I mean, I'm independent. I usually vote Democratic, but somewhere along the line, you have to stop borrowing. Just like as a person, you can't keep, every time you run out of money, you can't get another credit card. It doesn't work. I mean, if you're economists... Actually,
you're right when you say it doesn't work, but the bottom line is, unfortunately, the way our credit system is set up, you can get another card. Okay, because in this country, they value you owing money. The more you owe, the better the credit companies like it.
Well, then what happens is you get to a point where, like Detroit, and they just owe too much money, and they go bankrupt. And that's not so far-fetched for anybody to go bankrupt.
I know, and if you saw the reports, ladies and gentlemen, they were talking about cutting municipal pensions in Detroit. The average municipal pension in Detroit is $19,000. Now, for some people, that's even less than they get on Social Security. Could you imagine trying to live on that? Okay, I mean, I realize that at least they're getting a pension.
And they're also getting the Social
some people.
Security.
I realize that. I said
that's a lot more than a lot of people.
Well, I was about to say that we have people who are self-employed, who, if they were fortunate enough to have 401k, have exhausted all of their 401k because of the economic situation of the country. They have no more savings. Okay, so if and when these people are ever going to retire, if at all, they're forced to live on only Social Security because they have no more savings. They have no more IRA accounts. You know, it's a shame. And then you listen to Wall Street talking about their billion-dollar bonuses. I mean, where is the equity? There is no equity.
Is there supposed to be equity? I don't know if there is, I'll be honest with you, because we should take care of our poor, but they'll always be rich. And the democracy like ours, based on the economics the way we are, there'll always be rich and always be poor.
Yeah, even Warren Buffett and Bill and Melinda Gates have given away the bulk of their fortunes to foundations to try to help people, because these people have more money than they'll ever need. They leave their children more money than their children will ever need. You know, what we need is a class of people like the Kennedys who went into public service getting paid $1 a year because they didn't need the money, okay? Trying to give back, okay? Starting foundations. But you see Wall Street being so greedy. You know, when are they going to spend all that money in a lifetime? They never will.
Well, no, you can't say Wall Street is greedy. Wall Street is there.
Well, then the Koch brothers.
To make money for their investors, and that's what they're there for. I mean, they're doing their job.
All right, but you're rewarding these top salespeople with billions of dollars in perks. I mean, and you have the Koch brothers who want to see the Keystone Pipeline go through so they can make billions of dollars in profit. Yes, it'll provide jobs for our country, much needed jobs. It seems like that's what's lost, I believe, over the last few weeks and couple of months. We don't talk about jobs anymore, do we, Felix?
Not really, and it's a shame because there's still over 7% unemployment. That's the official unemployment rate. But think of all the people who are not looking for jobs any longer, who have settled for jobs that make much less than they actually need to live.
You know, people who are taking 2 part-time jobs and not even making a full-time salary. I know for my daughter in Ohio, she's thankful that she has basically 2 part-time jobs that don't even make, and she's a speech pathologist, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And she's finding it very difficult, to find a full-time job that's going to give her the hours that she needs. So she's running around like a chicken without a head between 2 jobs, just trying to make a full-time salary. And she's thankful for that. She's not complaining, believe me. I know people, as I'm sure Felix does, know people who have been unemployed for the better part of a year or more. As Ed Schultz would say, the 99, I don't know what they call it anymore, the people who have collected their 99 weeks of unemployment and now are collecting nothing. And it's very difficult indeed. These are family people. These are people that some of them own homes. Okay, they have responsibilities, and they would like nothing more than to be able to find a job every day and go to work and have some pride.
You're right. But as you're talking, Mark, and you're talking quite a bit tonight, which is okay.
I'm giving you a rest.
You're giving me a rest.
I mean, you're still working and I'm retired, so we can do this.
Gives me a little bit of just thinking as he's talking about all the different things that I just find wrong with what's happening with us. One is the economy going nutty. What I really hate are lobbyists. I think they should limit how much they can influence people, how much money they can put into their lobbying actions. These guys, the lobbyists, get paid millions of dollars to go in there and try to influence our politicians. And what do they spend it on? I have no idea.
It's funny you talk about lobbyists because some of our senators are choosing not to run. Okay, they are leaving on their own volition. And where are they going? They're going to the very same companies who they lobbied against or they ruled against when they were on committees. These companies are now offering them millions of dollars in salary to do just the opposite. And I wonder, as much as I like the president and what he stands for, I do remember him saying something about keeping the lobbying down to a minimum and keeping it out of government, and I don't see any change. Do you?
Nope. The money wins every time, unfortunately. I think they should just limit the spending you can do in lobbying, or don't let corporations lobby at all. Let the individuals lobby with no money change, no perks to people for doing certain things. I mean, that's the thing. And the other thing I really would like to see is on the voting end, put everybody on the equal level. Don't let the millionaires be able to spend millions of dollars on their agenda when they're running. Everybody should have a certain amount given to you by the government, and that's all you can spend, and that's it. And then everybody will be heard, and everybody will be heard equally, and I think it would just give everybody a chance to run for office. How many good people cannot run for office because they don't have a strong backing, financial backing? Unless you're rich, you really can't run for office.
You need at least a minimum of a couple of $1 million to run for any kind of office. And most of that has to come from your own pocket if you are not going to be beholden to anybody. Okay, if you are fortunate enough to be elected, although I don't know why anybody would want to run in today's Congress, okay, the way it's so divided.
But, you just have to take that monetary incentive out of the picture. And maybe we'll get some honest politicians in there, people like us, me, really interested in making a change.
Well, and then unfortunately you have, once people get into the office tends to change people. For whatever it's worth, the office does tend to change people.
Mark, I'm hearing something. It's the road.
There's a raccoon on the shoulder.
Well, it's about time. It's our sign-off song.
There's possum.
Just want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be on the air on Friday. We'll